Well, well, well. Good afternoon, John.
Hello. Who are you?
Oof. How are you, man?
Fucking so glad to see you.
I've got welcome back, stranger, in the chat. I like it. I like it. So I feel flattered. I feel honoured. I will welcome myself back.
Yeah, no, welcome back. Welcome back. I mean, we love you. I missed you.
I'm getting
desperately.
that. I'm understanding this. I'm getting it in the chat as well.
Oh, they missed you. Well, I mean, I was appalling. I was just appalling.
I have returned. I am here to save the day.
I have no explanation other than I'm just bad.
Well, I'm told here that you and Adam have done an exemplary job in my absence.
The people are so kind.
Your egos have been stroked.
Don't be kind. Just send us cash.
I mean, that's always handy. That's always welcome. But yes, I am back, and now the show can really continue.
Indeed it can.
Although you guys were talking about it yesterday on the show, but what I didn't realise was I was at Disneyland, right? And Disneyland isn't really France. It's not really France.
No, I mean, I think the same would apply to any Disneyland stroke world anywhere in the world. Yeah. Because they're a microcosm of Disney.
Yeah.
And everything that happens in that park is insulated. And that's the whole point. You want to be insulated from what's going on in society when you're at these places. And much as you were insulated from society, I mean, you dip in and out and see some of what was going on in the show, but not much. And really, that's good because you had a good time.
Oh yeah, we definitely had a great time. The kids had a fantastic time.
But France.
But it was turning into fucking Mad Max all around me.
We've seen them fighting at petrol stations. We've seen them trying to fill plastic bags with diesel. I mean, these people have lost their minds and let's get this straight, there is not a shortage of fuel in France.
There doesn't. Well, I don't know what the deal is.
Well, there's not a shortage of fuel.
Right.
The problem is none of the fuel's in the petrol stations.
I definitely got that.
Because the tanker drivers are all on strike.
So I drove over Sunday. We drove over to Disneyland Paris with the kids, my wife, the kids, my grandmother. We drove over on Sunday, and our tunnel crossing was about 6:30 in the morning. It ended up being we swapped to an earlier train. And as we were driving across France on Sunday morning, there was no problems. There was no issues. We could stop at whatever petrol station we wanted. There was plenty of petrol there. But as we got closer and closer to Paris, we just started seeing big lines appearing at the petrol stations over and over again. And I'm talking hundreds, if not sometimes thousands of cars. Miles long, these lines. And we're going, what's going on here?
Bigger than the queue for lorries for the Channel Tunnel.
Yeah, right. So I'm actually thankful that I made the executive decision on Saturday night. I turned around to my wife and I said, we are 100% topping our tank off here in Folkestone. We were in Folkestone on Saturday night. Yeah. We're topping it off now in case, I said, because I don't like filling up petrol in France, quite frankly. Yeah. And I think we made the right decision there, because on the way back yesterday evening, not a single petrol station had petrol, or if they did, we had the same issue, queues miles long. And then something else happened.
Yeah, but wait, before you go into that. So we mentioned yesterday, and we were laughing at the police who were pushing their cars about. Yeah. Even on one occasion with blue lights on.
Yeah.
But you've got something to add to this, haven't you? You can add to the story of the French police. Because it's not just migrants coming across the channel, is it?
No, it's not. So we saw them, the gendarmerie, at the Eurotunnel with their police cars, and we were like, okay, maybe they're just here to add a bit of extra security or something like that. Okay, that's fine. And then we didn't really think anything of it until we drove off of the Eurotunnel in Folkestone. So did they. Right? Which is for maybe they're coming over. Maybe they're coming over.
Invasion of French police. Where were they going, Ben? Where were they possibly going?
They went to Esso, John. They went to Esso.
I have my French euro here. May I buy gasoline?
They literally they drove up the ramp, drove right down the ramp off the train, and then on the right hand side in Folkestone there's an Esso, and they just straight into Esso.
Piled on.
Straight into Esso.
And then they'd come back out of there and pile straight back onto the train.
Of course they did, yeah. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, so you heard it here first, because this hasn't been reported anywhere in MSN.
No.
I've been looking for it all morning and I haven't found it.
No,
so,
that was last night. We arrived back in the UK at about 9:30. They drove off that train with us and they drove to Esso. They went to bloody Esso.
The French police are filling up their cars in Folkestone.
In Folkestone. Yep. There you go. That happened. It happened last night. It's probably been happening throughout the night, to be honest.
It probably has. We have an eyewitness news reporting to you from Folkestone.
Sean Fennessy says, what else are they hiding? Well,
they probably had a migrant in the boot as well.
Well, actually, right. I'll tell you this. When we drove over on Sunday morning, there were gendarmerie police cars with us going to Calais.
Oh, and maybe they were already started?
Maybe, because at this point we didn't know. We were wondering.
You got to remember, though, that technically they actually never left France. Did they? Or did they?
No, they did,
Is the petrol station outside France?
Yeah, and also that all of the passport control's done in France.
Yeah, all right, okay, so they did leave France. Yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe they were already doing it Sunday morning? I honestly couldn't tell you, but it was they were on the train with us going over to Calais as well.
See, if you were like a UK border patrol, though, wouldn't you just be like, and the purpose of your visit?
Petrol.
And then you can just fucking sit and laugh at them and go, no. No, go back.
We are here to get the unleaded or the diesel.
Yeah. Fuck you.
I didn't have the ability to film it because we didn't know they were on our train, and I was driving.
Oh, I know. I've already castigated them for this.
I was driving, and
don't give them any more hassle.
But like I said, there were proper police cars, French police cars, going with us Sunday morning to Calais. So I don't know what they were doing in Folkestone. They could have been filling up petrol there.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, there is absolutely no problem with the fuel supply to France. The problem is the fuel supply from the depot to the petrol station, because the tanker drivers are on strike and want more money.
Yes, indeed. Other than that, so we've had a great time. The kids have had a fantastic time. It's what it's all about, right? The kids at the end of the day. And it's been our first time taking them abroad for 5 years. They've had a good time. I need a holiday. I will say that. Yeah. I need a holiday from the holiday. But other than that, John.
Ben.
Do we have a list?
Of course we have a list, Ben. Of course we have a list.
Shall I roll that video they've been missing for the past few days?
We haven't done the list for the past few days because I haven't done.
Right, before I do dig into the list, I just want to address a comment in the chat from Trudy who says, "Where's my duty free?" Apologies, my wife took all the allowance. It is what it is, right?
Anyway, Trudy. Oh no, it wasn't Trudy, it was somebody else.
It was Trudy on the list.
Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. Right, never mind, I was thinking of something else.
Okay.
Oh, what have I done? Right, okay. Let's start, shall we? Let's start, Ben. Right, so let's start with a comic from Bob.
Yeah, Bob Moran here.
I think that's quite witty.
I think it's quite apt, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's quite good.
There's Bill there, all fat with his boobies, saying, the narrative is collapsing fast. And then we've got Klaus with his glass of wine, not as fast as the people who followed it.
Indeed. I think that says a lot. And it has there's been an awful lot of this nonsense in the news these days, hasn't there?
Yeah. And we're starting to see personalities, especially blue ticks on Twitter, start to make a half-hearted, haphazard apologies, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. It's yeah. And some of those apologies are worse than others.
They are.
Some of them though, like our man Tom here. Is that next on the list?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, something like our man Tom here. He's still very happy that he got his 3 treats, and he'd continue to urge anyone eligible to continue. Now, I don't know what Tom's thinking, because it seems to be that as a result of this chap in Europe, who the mainstream media have reported, that we found out that, well, it didn't really stop transmission at all, and it wasn't tested for it.
It was not even intended to stop transmission. It must not have been, because it wasn't even tested against it. And so we can now, I think, safely say that the get the treat to save Granny was a lie. Now,
yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I think the word lie is very much the correct word to use here, because if something wasn't tested for something, and then they're saying that something does that something, despite the fact they know that something was never tested to do that something,
yeah,
they're lying.
They are lying.
It's not even miscommunication. It's not even it's medical misinformation. It's what it is.
It is. That's exactly what it is. And speaking of medical misinformation, one of our strongest proponents of it was Piers.
Oh, good old Piers Morgan here.
And now he's backtracking like a billio, isn't he? I mean, I don't know if you've heard these conversations with Neil the Greedy Tyson.
I haven't.
But yeah, I mean, he's backtracking, and he's getting castigated for it on social media, quite rightly so.
Yeah.
And he's trying to say that really, given the information, everybody was taken in by it. No, they weren't, Piers. They were not taken in by it.
Absolutely not.
I wasn't.
You
weren't.
And all of us people who were not taken in by it. And I want to go back to Tom Harwood's statement, right? Mm-hmm. Because all of us that were not taken in by it, most of us, there are many people who tried to say to people, don't ever go and do this, that, and the other. But Tom's saying, I urge you to do this, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I don't urge you to do anything either way.
We've never told anyone to go and do anything other than do their own research.
And make a decision for themselves, whatever they think is best for their body, whatever they think is right. And ultimately, don't even bother telling us what your decision was, because we don't care.
We don't care. But, I mean, just flipping on to the next slide, Piers said this, and this was abhorrent, in my opinion.
So I shall read it in my most condescending Piers Morgan voice for you. I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a twat. Love the idea of COVID vaccine passports everywhere. Flights, restaurants, clubs, footballs, gyms, shops, etc. I know I sound nothing like Piers, but I'm trying to make myself sound more like a twat. It's time coof-denying anti-vaxxer loonies had their bullshit bluff called and bar themselves from going anywhere that responsible citizens go. I'm a twat.
I think that's quite accurate. That sounded very like Piers Morgan. In fact, you're blocked. But again, we've got piles of should we say? Well, these people were described as anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists. So we have piles of.
We've been described as such things.
Yes, I know. But we've got piles of. But we're not Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to say, and then you'll realise what we're not doing, because we're not calling for. Well, we are calling for it, but we realise you're not going to get it, because you've piles and piles of these conspiracy theorists saying we want justice, we want these people held to account, we want people in jail, and I certainly have said this from day one.
It's not going to happen.
Nobody's ever going to be held to account for this. You're not getting justice. Forget it, because they just use the excuse. We did the best with the science we had at the time. And nobody's going to be held to account for this. And there is no point in worrying yourself or driving yourself into a frenzy thinking that anyone is, because it's just not going to happen.
And ultimately, what you need to do is not just with this situation, but in any situation in your life, is what's best for you and your family, right?
Yeah.
I know we all want justice for the time that's been taken away from us. We all want justice for the economic collapse that is 100% caused by the lockdowns. We want justice for that. We wouldn't be in this economic situation right now. People like me and John, who have not got a pot to piss in, would not be wondering if we're going to be able to keep the lights on next month. If we had all just collectively said, you know what, we're just not gonna do that.
We're just gonna keep on, probably living our lives like we always do every winter. If we'd done that, then you know what, the economy wouldn't be in collapse. We wouldn't be in the situation we're in. Putin and Ukraine might still be at loggerheads, but hey, let them go on with it.
Well, exactly. Well, you're exactly right, and even we may have had a bit more money to be able to help either side. Well, I say either side, but we may have had a bit more money to be able to justify some of the aid that we are delivering. But right now, there's no justification.
There is no justification, because any justification that we've got for delivering aid to Ukraine is only making things worse for the civilian populations that live on both sides.
Yes, you're right, and we're blowing up the bridges and things like that. I mean, I have not really been in the loop so much, but
Ukraine's gone into full propaganda mode.
Oh, well, I actually want to address that bridge attack, right? And people can say what they want about me for saying this, but when that happened, when that bridge got blown up, the Crimea Bridge, I saw loads of pro-Ukrainian, even Ukrainian government officials making light of, celebrating, laughing about this happened. I watched a video of what looked to me like civilians being barbecued alive.
Well, yeah. I mean, we brought this out on the show. We did, and we did point out that they were making tweets such as "sick burn" and things like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just abhorrent.
Yeah, abhorrent is an understatement. Just regular people going about their day, driving across the bridge. Oh wait, I'm dead now.
Yeah.
And that's
basically
funny. It's not funny.
Well, it was to Ukraine.
But it's not funny.
It's funny to Ukraine official government sources, because they tweeted about it and they said it was funny, basically.
Well,
anyway, before we get too embroiled in that, last one on the backtracking, maybe people should go, and I'm going to shout out Maisie Daisy here, because she came out with a good tweet, and she's shown us a link to a documentary on YouTube about the swine flu in 1976. And you know what? It might just be worth going and having a look at that, people, on your own time. I'm not going to play it here.
No.
I'm not playing videos anymore after our censorship on Monday.
You were censored on Monday?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got a strike. We got a strike on the back channel. You know where I put all the videos for us to play on the main channel?
Oh yeah.
I got a strike on that for trying to report the news.
Look how out of the loop I've been, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ.
We got a strike for trying to show the Mississippi nursery that was torturing children, saying it was against the community policy to reveal, what's going on in the news. So you can't report the news on YouTube. That's one of the reasons I'm really pissed off with YouTube, because I know they're a censorship platform, but they've gone too far now, because you can't report the actual news. So how the fuck are we supposed to run a news show if you can't report the news?
Well, yeah, no, you're absolutely
and
right.
I'm looking at you, YouTube, because you know what? We're making money for you right now. We're not making money for ourselves. So you're a bunch of fucking arseholes. You're thieves.
Well, it's
That's
true.
what you are.
It's true because I keep seeing ads running on our videos.
Yeah, of course they are, because we are making money for them. They are thieves.
Yeah.
You know, they're providing nothing to us. Nothing. And,
No.
and in some respects, they even hamper us because we can't say what we want.
Well, yeah,
So,
no.
YouTube, go shove it.
I'll tell you what. If you want to support us going forwards, then please do go and subscribe to us over on rumble.com/Dissent Media, as well as here, because if we do get censored down on YouTube, we will be straight up over there, and these shows are being backed up over there anyway. We're not live on there at the moment, just logistically it doesn't make much sense. But they get backed up within a few hours. Everything does over on Rumble. So
but I mean, we used to go live, but what happened then was we ended up with 2 shows on Rumble because the live show would go out live, and then the backed up one would get dumped on it later. So we just decided not to go live on Rumble at the moment. But you know what? It might be that we switch to an alternative platform, because although YouTube is convenient, it's not convenient when you can't express your mind and when you can't report the actual things that are happening in the real world.
Well, yeah, too
and
right.
Yet you can't report them.
Well, John, you know, let's go right back to 2020 in that respect. I lost my channel for reporting what was going on in the real world with live streams and video evidence.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're exactly right, mate. YouTube is a censorship. Well, they're all the same. They are all a censorship platform. Even Rumble, to a degree, is a censorship platform because they're not free either. And that's the problem. How do you get proper information out there without censorship? Because it appears to me that, you know, the governments are taking over and clamping down, and it's getting harder and harder to get proper representation.
And even when it's not governments.
Yeah, well,
and even when it's not governments.
But are these people doing it at the behest of government? I suspect a lot of them are, you know, or they want to improve their ESG score.
Listen, even when somebody does speak their mind, and yes, they are wrong, and they admit they are wrong, they can still get sued. Yeah, and they can still be ordered to pay just shy of $1 billion.
Yeah, which is a ridiculous amount to award. Ridiculous. Regardless of what he said. You know what? I mean, it's like you say, the first thing that has to be addressed here is freedom of speech, First Amendment. Can you say what you think or not? And obviously, according to the Connecticut court, you're not allowed to say what you think. No, I mean, and it's quite straightforward. It's either yes or no. There's no grey area here. You know, you can't say, oh, you can say what you like as long as you don't offend people, because then you can't say what you like.
Because anything could offend anyone.
Exactly. So you either can say what you like or you can't say what you like. So you either have a First Amendment or you don't. And on this occasion, America no longer has a First Amendment.
If this is allowed to stand, I would actually
If this stands, America doesn't have a First Amendment, and you might as well throw the Constitution out because nobody's applying it.
No, you're right. Because it is the government enforcing. Well, it's the judiciary is an arm of government, so it is the government enforcing a penalty upon him for his speech.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, you say this isn't a fine because it's an award to the. It's a fine. It's a fine by a different name, right? That's all it is. Yeah, I know, and it will go to appeal, and we'll see what happens. But the problem with something like this is it's a civil case, so it's never going to go to the Supreme Court.
The other thing is, the other thing that is worrying about it is, it's not so much as what's been done to many people in this country as well, independent journalists, independent streamers. It's not so much about Alex Jones. It's about sending a shot across the bow.
Show the next slide. I mean, look at Jeremy Vile. Look what he's done. He's just jumped on the bandwagon, hasn't he? And he's now claiming that this is what Alex Belfield would be if he'd been allowed to carry on. Alex Belfield would have been the next Alex Jones.
What?
That's what he's saying. Look, read that. You read that.
Yeah, but what? What?
Read.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Jeremy Vine says, 2 peas in a pod. Alex Jones is what Alex Belfield would have become.
Is that because they're both named Alex, Jeremy?
maybe, but if the UK police and courts had not stopped them, fascinating parallels. Really?
What?
Really? Jeremy Vile. I mean, you. Oh, you disgust me, man. You disgust me. You don't have a critical thought in your body.
But I'm struggling to understand what he means, because they were nothing alike. They were nothing alike.
He's basically saying they're both liars.
He's basically saying they're both. He's basically saying
the bigger the lie, the easier it is to try and make people believe it.
No,
now,
well, I disagree with you there.
There's whole questions about the whole carry on that Alex Jones is talking about, but that we're not going to go into, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you do your own research and have a look at it, and then come up and make up your own mind. But I'm not saying Alex Jones is right, and I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying he has his opinion.
An opinion
and
that
surely
he
you're
has
entitled to your opinion. Yes, it might offend people. Yes, it might upset people. But surely you're entitled to your opinion. I mean, it's like if I want to believe in I don't know, something wacky, like say I wanted to believe in a flat Earth, right? Am I entitled to hold that opinion, or am I not?
For now.
I mean, you might think I'm nuts. Sorry?
I said for now.
For now. Yeah, for now. Because there's no narrative around it yet. Am I allowed to believe that... I mean, look at all these clowns that believe in this Tartaria stuff. Have you seen that? It's really big on TikTok.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a whole thing. I mean, these people believe in this, and it's getting pushed. It's getting pushed by TikTok, and it's getting pushed a bit by YouTube and things like that.
I'll tell you why it's getting pushed, because it's making money.
But see when a platform starts to push something, right, then there's something wrong. Because things they've never pushed giants.
No.
They never pushed Mudflood.
No.
They never pushed Flat Earth, right? And when
they
these
kind of pushed Flat Earth.
They didn't really. What they've done is they've pushed Flat Earth debunkers, right?
Yes.
So when these things start to get big, what happens is they start to push the opposite side to bring the narrative away from it. And that just, I mean, okay, yeah, give me my tinfoil hat. I'm a full card-carrying tinfoil hat wearer, because as soon as the MSN start to push in the opposite direction, I'm looking to see why and what are they hiding,
Well, this is it. You're absolutely right. We don't have a fair media. We don't have a fair judiciary. We don't have a fair world. And
we really don't.
We need to start realizing it, because it's not just courts that can fine you for your opinions.
Oh, it's banks, isn't it? So what are they saying to Kanye?
So
take your money out.
JP Morgan Chase has given Kanye West until November 21st to remove funds for his companies from their services.
Yeah. You know what I'd be saying to JP Morgan?
Bye.
Right? No, I'd be turning up and go, I'll have it in marked bills of no higher than $20 and no die packs, please.
Oh, and I'm also going to want all of those fees that you've been charging me back, considering you don't want my business.
Yeah, that's what I'd be saying. Yeah. Cash, please.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
No, I mean, these sorts of banks, JP Morgan Chase, they're not the type of bank you or I use. These are the banks for super wealthy. Kanye West is a billionaire. He's a billionaire. He's a very successful musician, very successful fashion designer. He owns an amazingly popular shoe brand. The man is... Listen,
yeah, okay, carry on.
The man is moving so much money in and out of those banks, and the banks are making so much money on him, right? And yeah, people may disagree with his opinions. People may disagree with what he says. People may disagree with him in general. But why are the banks shooting themselves in the foot? That's what I don't get.
Because I'll tell you exactly why, and it's those three little letters, isn't it? ESG. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this next one, I thought this was just like a joke, because it was a New York Post, and I thought this is a joke,
Right.
Right. Gen Z have cancelled the hostile thumbs up emoji. Yeah,
What?
right. So Gen Z have said that you're Gen Z, aren't you?
Maybe?
Like,
No, I
yeah.
think I'm a millennial still.
All right. Okay. So apparently Gen Z have cancelled the hostile thumbs up emoji and want to ban 9 others. And I thought, nah, this is a joke. And no,
What?
apparently, Gen Z only use a thumbs up emoji sarcastically.
What?
As if to say, yeah, whatever, and then move on.
Are they
Whereas,
idiots?
whereas Gen X, which is like me and you, even though you're a millennial, you're really a Gen Xer in the head, right? So people like us go, yeah, okay, message understood and working on it. I mean,
Yeah, cool.
what's our work chat like? It's full of thumbs up. Yeah, got you.
Yep.
Yep, I'll go and do that.
Yep.
Nobody takes offense, but apparently these Gen Zs are good. When I first started at work, I was horrified. I thought all my workmates hated me
Grow
because
the
they
fuck
giving
up!
me the thumbs up. And I would write a big long expansive email or something, and all I'd get back would be a thumbs up, and I'd be like, "How rude!"
I've been back on this show for half an hour. Half an hour, I have lost the will to fucking live. And I know we're not meant to swear so much, but Jesus Christ.
This is real. This is real. This is how these people feel. And it took me ages to transition. So what we need to do, we've got a Gen Zer in our one of our chats, and we need to ask her
We do.
if this is real. I didn't realise that this was dismissive and offensive to Gen Z. I don't care. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stop using it, right? But it's like, oh, and in fact, now that I know, I'll probably use it even more.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Honestly, I do not understand what the hell is going on with kids today. Am I now that old man in the chair going, "Get off my lawn"?
Welcome to my world. Speaking of men in jails, I should have brought this up earlier, but Tucker, right? Tucker exposed the European Parliament thing, and he says the House of Cards is falling, which is good. Which is good. So it's coming out on proper TV, and then we get from Albert, right? From Albert Bourla. There's no stopping this guy in his quest for more and more money, is there?
Of course not. He's a businessman.
We've received emergency youth authorization for children aged 5 to 11. Let's go for it. I mean, my God, this guy, he can't lose, can he? How can he lose? I mean, one hand, we're telling people, and other countries are saying don't, and then in this hand, the US is still going down that route.
People have very, very short memory, right? And the reason I say that is because this company, headed by Albert Bourla, Pfizer, paid the biggest criminal fine in history.
They did, and it was billion. It was even bigger than Alex Jones's.
Yes. And yet they paid the biggest criminal fine in history. And we're supposed to just trust them. Just trust them.
Trust them.
Trust them with your health. Give them all your money.
Oh,
but
there's one coming out later that you'll be. There's another one coming up later about trust that you might find interesting. Are you okay? Internet wise?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Gone blurry on Twitch.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Now I'm not fine.
Okay. Right. Moving on.
Yep.
Oh.
No, keep going.
Right. Ant and Dec. So is Ant back on the booze? That's the question.
Possibly.
Because apparently they both got sick and pulled out of work immediately.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, sick. Either that or they've got
they've got the coof.
They've got the coof. They could well have the coof. Yeah. But then you would imagine that they would advertise that. They'd be like, Ant and Dec have come down with a little.
Well, you see, the thing is, are they actually maybe thinking? Hold on a minute. The tide is starting to turn. Maybe we want to stay away from it.
Yeah, maybe.
And then maybe they're thinking, I tell you what, let's just go off sick for a couple of months.
Well, yeah, and they're supposed to be doing "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here." I think next month over in Australia. So they're returning. They're not doing Wales this year. They're going over to Australia. So you never know. You never know. They might have gone. We've had enough of this shite.
They might well have. They
But
might
Am
well
could
have.
well be back on the booze. You could be right because obviously
Yeah.
Deck did do "I'm a Celebrity" last year. No, not last year. It was a few years back. He did "I'm a Celebrity" without Ant over in Australia, and he had I don't know, Holly Willoughby maybe with him.
I don't know.
And
Don't watch that shit.
It was shite. Actually,
Yeah.
you should watch that shit because minor celebrities get tortured.
Yeah. I've seen it in the past. I know what happens, but it gets to the point that
Yeah.
it's just soul destroying. It rots the mind watching this kind of thing. It's not good for you.
No, but when Richard Madeley got he left because he kept getting voted for things and said he was ill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was because
I'd be able
that
to
was,
if I was eating kangaroo penis all the time.
well, the thing is, Richard Madeley was voted on heavily by the freedom movement because he made some very anti-freedom statements, so they kept voting for him to do shit, and so he was like, right, I'm out.
Karma is a bitch.
Well, indeed it is, Richard. And if you do return to the jungle, people don't forget.
They don't.
They don't forget. They don't.
So, our friendly Hungarian Prime Minister, Viktor Orban,
Yes.
has accused the United States of perpetrating the war in Ukraine by providing it with weapons and said there should be US-Russian negotiations to bring about a ceasefire. Now, I find it difficult to disagree with them.
Do you have a fact check accurate button? I know you've got a fact check false button.
No, I don't. I've only got a fact check false.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
I see no problems with this statement. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I see
I
the
see no
problems,
issues with this statement.
And Andy went on to say that Trump is the hope for peace in Ukraine.
Well, I'm not so sure about that because I don't think Trump is a hope for fucking peace anywhere. The man has got.
It doesn't matter who puts Trump. What happens with Trump? If Trump gets in, too many people are going against them for them to hope for peace, and then if he doesn't get in, too many people are following the current narrative to hope for peace. So it's a lose-lose situation if Trump gets back in.
And the actor Vladimir Zelensky, he's having a great time with all of this, isn't he?
Yeah, here he is getting a hologram made, right? And this went into quite in depth of what they were doing, and it's not just a hologram that was made. There was a green screen, and then they were showing pictures of him doing things and superimposed on like street scenes.
Oh,
and it's
really?
like, yeah. Hello.
Where have we seen that before?
Hello. Did we not call that out like months ago? Green screen, chroma key.
Yep. Absolutely,
Yeah.
he was.
In fact, only yesterday I had people saying to me, "And how does Zelensky? How does Zelensky pretend to be in the street if he's not really there? Hollywood? Question mark." And I'm going, "Hello, welcome to the year 2022."
I could do it here.
Exactly.
I could do it
These
here.
people. I mean, you've got to remember you're dealing with Eastern Europe, so some of them are a bit backward. I did tell you
And
about
did you
that
see-
village.
did
I
you
did tell
see-
you about that village that had dug up the street and planted potatoes.
No, you did not.
Oh, did I not? we were travelling across Europe on our motorcycles. We had been diverted. Well, we'd been diverted because the road had been closed, and we went down this other road, which quite clearly on the map showed it going across and then joining another road. And there's a village, and we went into the village, and the road stopped at the end of the village because the villagers had dug it up and planted it full of crops. That's the mentality you are dealing with in Eastern Europe.
Listen, Zelensky is always going to be first and foremost an actor, right?
Of course he is,
And if
yeah,
you
because
go-
he was never really good as a comedian.
Well, if you go and watch that video, and it's available on Twitter, and I'm sure at some point after the fact we'll put a link to it in the description here. Right? If you go and watch that video, when he's standing doing that scene that he's shooting, he is
He is, yeah.
He is hamming it up. He is going for it. He is acting his arse off. He's not delivering a serious speech.
No, he's not. Of course he is.
Do you reckon that
I mean,
do you reckon that was one of his streets? I'm here in central Kiev, and it's being bombed all around me, comrades.
Oh, that was one of his green screens, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
yeah,
was.
For sure.
No doubt, no doubt.
I don't know how I managed to not go completely invisible, considering I always wear this same green top.
I know. It's a bad choice of clothing for a green screen.
I
think they would maybe have used blue screen instead.
Well, exactly. I would have thought blue screening was going to be a thing here, but apparently not. Apparently not.
Well, it's Eastern Europe, still back in time.
And let's talk about Elon Musk. Kim.com, Joe Rogan. Let's talk about John Mappin.
Yeah, so John Mappin of what I assume is Camelot TV, right, has said that, wow, Elon Musk, Kim.com, Joe Rogan are doing more to prevent nuclear war on Earth than all the Western politicians combined. And I can get behind that statement.
Yeah.
But there's two other people he threw in there that I just seem to have come completely from left field, and I can't understand why. Right. Why he's put them in with the same, the same company.
What, James Melville and Leilani Downing?
Yeah.
Downing. Well,
what are they doing to prevent nuclear war?
Well, James,
especially Melville.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what Melville is doing. He's putting out the statements we make on this show about 3 hours after we go on this show. Most of the time.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what he's doing.
And James, if you're watching, look, mate, let's just cut out the middleman. Come on the show.
Come see us.
Come on the show, and you can see it. You can see it before we do.
Come see us. Come on, come talk to us. We're very nice. We won't hurt you.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't bite.
We'll metaphorically hold your hand, Jimmy. Be all right.
Yeah. And what about Leilani Dowding? What has she done to prevent nuclear war?
I don't know.
She seems a nice enough girl, but I mean, I don't see what she's doing to prevent nuclear war.
Probably repeating the same statements just on GB News and Iconic.
You know what? Maybe she's just retweeting Elon Musk. If we retweet Elon Musk, we'll be doing our bit to prevent nuclear war. Get out there, everyone. Retweet Elon Musk and do your bit to prevent nuclear war.
Trudy in the chat
comes to you as a public service announcement.
Trudy in the chat says she would also like to speak with James Melville, and I've got a feeling that I know what that's about. So. Yeah. No. Well, like we said, we're open to it. We're open to a conversation with absolutely anybody. Agree with us, disagree with us. Copy our statements. We're absolutely fine with you coming on our show. We'd love to talk to anyone and everyone.
Most people.
Or maybe not this one. In fact, I would have this one on, John.
Yeah.
Shall we show them who it is?
Yeah, go on. It's the bastard son.
Nicola Sturgeon. Do your best impression of her, because I can't.
I can't impersonate that. That's a cranky. I don't do cranky impersonations.
If you vote,
so she said, go on then.
If you vote for SNP, I won't take that vote as an endorsement of independence.
Right, so from that statement, I would say then that just means I'll take anyone's vote for any reason just to stay in power.
Just give me a vote.
Because SNP, and let's spell it out for those who don't quite get it, SNP stands for Scottish National Party. So if you're not a Scottish nationalist, why would you vote for the poison dwarf?
Because she wants to grip onto power so that no actual investigations into some of the shite she's pulled can actually occur, John.
That's it. I'm on a ferry. I'm out of here.
You can't get on a ferry, John.
Damn it. You're right. It's not finished.
I'm not sure you will ever be able to get on that ferry, John.
I don't think so. The one with the painted windows.
So we're going completely to a different place here. We're going to the CEO of Moderna next.
Yeah. So Moderna, which, as you all know, is the company that never had a product brought to market prior to 2020, right? So this their one and only product, which is out there just now, and it's doing great, isn't it? Yeah. So they're coming out with a new product, which is based on the old product, which will repair your heart muscle after heart attacks.
So what you're saying is, it's like an antidote.
Yeah. Yes. It's like generate a problem, provide a solution.
Problem, reaction, solution. So Moderna are saying we're coming out, ladies and gentlemen, with the cure.
Follow the money.
Yes, it's very, very yes. Oh, you poor thing, Trudy. Going back to Nicola Sturgeon just for a minute there, John. Trudy has said in the chat, my mum is obsessed with telling me I was born in the same hospital as Nicola.
Yeah.
Oh, my mum, it's nothing to be proud of.
Would that be an Irvin?
Oh,
I've been in that hospital.
Poor thing, you.
Not as a patient, but as an official capacity. In fact, I think I saw a ghost there one night, and I'll tell you about that in my upcoming book.
He's never writing that book. He's been telling us about this book for almost...
fucking time to write the book.
You've been telling us... You haven't even given us a bloody... you haven't given us a treatment. You haven't given us anything.
All right, I'll give you a treatment.
Yeah, of course you will. Trudy says Irvine Central, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at our next slide here.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Well, I didn't know where to put it towards the bottom or near the top. I don't know if it's a comedy piece or a serious bit of news. I really don't know.
I don't either. So Joe Biden will seek a second term if Trump stands again. I mean, has the stuff... I can see the next Biden... The next Biden thing is very relevant here, I think.
Yeah.
Because Joe Biden will seek a second term if Trump stands again. The US president also defended his son Hunter, saying, I'm just so proud of him.
I reckon Hunter Biden should probably be in jail.
I think Joe should. He's the big guy.
Yeah, that's that. Pedo Pete.
But talking about his son Bo, you know, his son that sadly passed away from brain cancer. Yeah, what's he saying?
Well, he lost his life in Iraq. No, he didn't, Joe. He didn't.
Do you know what? I saw somebody earlier, right? I saw somebody earlier turn around and say what he meant was it was from the pit fires in Iraq, and then he came home and he died. That's not what he said. He said my son lost his life in Iraq.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fine example of mental gymnastics. That's what you saw. Yeah,
absolutely. When you say someone lost their life in Iraq, it's
you lost their life in Iraq.
You don't discern from that they stood round a fire in Iraq, went home to the United States, got cancer, and then died. And obviously, rest in peace to Bo. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but Joe is using his dead son and lying about his dead son.
I know.
It's sick. It's sick.
Very sick.
But the thing is, do you think Joe even realizes he's doing it?
No, he doesn't. He's genuinely confused. The guy's got dementia. He has a medical issue. He's no longer fit to be the leader of the free world.
I don't think
Not that we have a free world anymore.
But I don't think he was fit for the position when he was standing the first. They were putting a lid on his campaigning at 11 a.m., John, on the campaign trail.
And he didn't... Remember, he used to go for a break after 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, that's when they would put the lid. No campaigning after 11 a.m. No campaigning after 11 a.m. It was... This dude isn't well. And
he's not.
Yeah, I said he should be in a jail. I think most politicians should be in a jail. But the place he really should be is in like Shady Oaks retirement home.
You'll have missed. Did you miss? What's her name? Was it Jill's taco dress yesterday?
Now I'm intrigued.
Jill was on stage, and there was a photographer wearing a dress with tacos on it.
I mean, I'd probably wear a dress with tacos on it. I don't see a problem with that.
Well, I thought it might be offensive to Mexicans.
I think it's a bit of harmless fun, to be honest.
Yeah, but you see the dress. It looks like something a 3-year-old would wear.
John, I was talking to my grandmother the other day, actually, while we were away, and she said something, like she called me Speedy Gonzales or something because I was on my mobility scooter, right? And I could zip around. And I said, you can call me that, Nan, when I've got a nice oversized sombrero and some maracas, and I can sit there doing this.
No, you don't need that because you've got your Zapata mustache.
Oh, that's gone.
It's coming back. It's coming back, though.
Do you want me? Should I grow it back?
Yeah, I think you should. I think you look much better with it.
No, fair enough. I'll take that. I'll take that to heart. I will.
Right. Did you know about Tulsi Gabbard?
Yes, I did know about Tulsi Gabbard. This is something I did know about. She has denounced the Democratic Party as essentially warmongers, hasn't she?
Yes, she has, and well, I don't know where she's going, but she's left them.
She's left.
So AOC, your friend and ours,
hi Alex,
got slaughtered.
By her own voters.
Yeah, by her own voters who were screaming at her basically, and they did it well because they tag teamed her. You know, we've seen that kind of technique before, and she just couldn't get a word in, and she had no defense.
I'm wondering if Alex has probably seen that kind of technique before.
I'm sure he has. Yeah.
But yeah, they called her a warmonger. They called her everything under the sun. They said she was a liar, and do you know what? They're right.
Yeah, they are. They're 100% right.
If you keep voting for this shite, if you keep voting to arm a country, all you are doing is signifying your support for what will eventually, if no de-escalation occurs, will wind up to be nuclear war. And like this guy said, no other issue is important if we all get nuked to hell. No other issue is important if my kids get killed.
Yep,
and this
exactly. We won't have any neighbours if somebody drops a nuclear bomb on us.
Well, exactly right. And do you know what? I don't think we're too far off that tactical nuke being used, John.
No, I don't think we are.
And when that happens,
closer and closer.
When that happens, all bets are off. You know, I'm going out the wicks and I'm getting the materials to dig a 50-foot hole in the garden. That's what I'm doing.
I thought you already had a hole. You just need access to it.
Yeah, we do. We do have a hole. we have a concrete lined hole as well.
Yeah, get in there and get some lead.
Yeah, a bit of lead and a bit of steel sheeting, and it might just to reinforce it. Yeah. I do think.
And should you wish to donate to our build your own nuclear bomb shelter campaign, please feel free to support us on patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, subscribestar.com/Chasing Dissent, or kofi.com/Chasing Dissent, and Kofi is ko-fi.com. That's our preferred method because they don't take a cut. They give us everything you give us. So you can be assured that your money will be spent unwisely and with complete and utter no diligence.
They'll just keep the lights on here, to be honest.
Yeah. And maybe put a meagre morsel of food in our bellies.
Maybe indeed. Let's move to Michael McFall, shall we?
Yeah, now this guy is allegedly a professor at some kind of university, but
right.
How? I'm like, how can you make the following statement? Right? Israel has amazingly capable air defense systems. Now is the moment for them to help Ukraine. This guy got no conception of what happened in the world between 1939 and 1945, allegedly. Right? I mean, this guy... Has he no sense of irony?
Nope.
Has he no sense of appropriate comments?
Nope.
It's just an incredibly stupid thing to say.
Yep.
And boy, did he get the reaction that maybe he was expecting on Twitter.
Do you think many of these people do these sorts of things, to say these sorts of things just for the reaction?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, and then he comes back with, well, Israel hasn't really come out on the side of Ukraine. You think?
Speaking of Twitter...
Well, to the next biggest troll ever.
Elon Musk is selling a new perfume through his company, The Boring Company, called Burnt Hair. And here's a tweet from him saying, please buy my perfume so I can buy Twitter. And at last check, he had sold at least 20,000 1,000 bottles of burnt hair in 24 hours.
He's just a troll. He really is just a troll.
I mean, I can't get my head around it. I can't.
Yeah.
If me or you did this, obviously we would never make a fucking penny. But
No, I know, but it's Elon Musk. I mean, everything he touches turns to gold.
the Boring Company exists basically because Elon Musk was like, I want to make a flamethrower.
Yeah, I know.
And now it's
Right.
burnt
So
hair.
now, I want you to sing the lines of the next 3 lines that are above this photograph.
Why?
Tell me, how good is that?
What's the tune?
It's who the hell? What's the right? You know the tune?
No,
No,
I'm just reading some words, so I need some direction here.
you don't know the tune.
Well,
Oh my god!
I need some direction here, John.
It's bloody what they called? Oh fucking hell! Talking Heads, isn't it? You never heard of Talking Heads?
What's the song?
You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large. No, what?
What's the song?
Oh Jesus Christ! I thought you would know this.
I'm just you've just given me some words and you throw me in the deep end here, John. For
Yeah, I
God's sake!
did because I really thought you would know it. Once in a Lifetime is a song. Have you never heard of it?
I don't think so.
Get to fuck.
Sing it for us, John.
Hold on.
Well, you're not really singing there, is he?
What? You're not? Could you hear that?
I know the song, but he's not really singing, is he?
No, he's not. But yeah, I mean the words for that photograph just go tremendously well together, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And this.
I just thought it was a bit humorous. It's obviously backfired. I'm sorry. I'll try and up my game now that you're back.
Well, this actually reminds me. This picture here actually reminds me of a family story that I can tell you. My aunt was she had her license suspended, shall we say, a fair few years ago. She's got her license back now, but the headline was, "There's a car in my living room."
Mm-hmm.
My aunt did exactly this. She put a car through someone's living room.
Well, one of my colleagues was having a bath.
Oh, fantastic.
He was in the bath when the wall came down because a car had left the road, hit his garden wall, gone through his garden wall, which then punched a hole in his house wall, which then dumped a load of bricks on him while he was in the bath.
Well, that was a relaxing time then.
This happened 3 times.
At that point, at the first you go, oh shit. The second you think maybe we should probably move.
Yeah, on the third occasion you're like, somebody's taking their piss now, aren't
No more. No more of this shit. All I can think is he was either trying elaborately to commit suicide and failed each time, right?
No, it was a different driver every time.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just pay a different person to do it each time. Or it was an insurance job each time, same deal. Or he was just terribly, terribly unlucky.
I think he was just terribly, terribly unlucky.
Oh, that poor soul.
So I came across this today and I thought it was quite funny because it is a video, although I'm not showing videos these days. So see the guy on the our right?
Yeah.
Their left, holding the globe.
Yep.
Well, he was holding it and he accidentally, this is the International Space Station, by the way, right?
Yeah.
ISS, as you can see in the background. And he dropped the globe and it didn't float away or gradually go down, it just dropped. Much like, remember the guy that dropped the screw and it went clank?
Yeah, but look
So-
at this video. It's from a Twitter account called the Flat Earth Zone. So at this point,
Yeah, well, yeah, no, but it
I
doesn't
want to
matter.
see it from an official source. Is what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying.
Well, then you can go to the ISS feed and dig through the archives because
Yeah.
they're all there. They are
Okay.
all there. So, I mean, just because this chap has tweeted it, right?
Yeah.
These videos are all on NASA.
Well, if they are, that's
they're
absolutely fine.
It's just absolutely incredible.
Like I say, if they are, that's absolutely fine. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when your source is a Twitter account called @FlatEarthZone, you have to dig a little deeper. I would say.
So, well, you may need to, but I've seen them. I've seen it from more than one source. Now, the next one, this is the last slide coming up. Okay, I'm going to leave it to you to comment on this because I just think it's a complete and utter abomination. I just don't know what's going on in Disney's Star Wars universe.
Right, so Ahmed Best says it's time to share how it all went down with the prequel trilogy. He also teased Darth Jar Jar. Previously, he said there was a lot about it that's true. Now, do you know the Darth Jar Jar thing?
No.
Right, so it's a meme essentially amongst Star Wars fans that says Jar Jar Binks was behind everything or responsible for everything because Jar Jar Binks was there in the Senate with Amidala pushing her to vote towards things like the Empire and stuff like that. Jar Jar Binks was there for all of these pivotal points, so really he was the real big bad. He was the one.
So
behind
he's
everything.
the Klaus Schwab of Star Wars.
Yes, essentially. And so there's a Darth Jar Jar. It's a meme. And Ahmed Best has always maintained that he never returned, basically because people were racist, and that he was treated very, very bad.
Who? Jar Jar?
Yeah, Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks.
The thing's an abomination.
I'm not an abomination, John. What are you talking about?
It's like probably one of the worst characters I've ever seen in a movie.
I talk really silly, John. That's all.
Please stop that.
I'm not doing anything. It's me, Jar Jar Binks.
Please don't. It starts to make me feel nauseous.
You know what? You know what?
What, mate?
I'm happy to be back.
Good. I'm glad you're happy.
Are you happy I'm back?
I'm ecstatic. Can you not see it on my face?
I mean, at the very beginning, you were very, 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 very happy I was back. Have you lost that?
No,
drive?
not at all. No, I think I'll be honest. I think you bring out the best in me.
You touched me.
Not in that way.
Don't worry, John. I told him you'll get a knock on your door soon. They don't like it when ex-cops touch people, John.
No, that was a good one. Do you wish me to start winding up the show?
I wish you to sell us one more time and
one more. I did it quite recently. Should you?
We're at the end, though.
Should you feel the need to continue watching this show, then it would be really appreciated if you could actually give us something to allow us to continue making this show, because things aren't going great on YouTube these days. Our subscribers aren't increasing, our views are not coming up.
Please hit the likes and the share buttons, and if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. We really would appreciate it.
We need more. We need you to go out there and evangelize. If you like it, tell people. Make them watch it, even under pain.
Spread the good word.
Yeah, spread the word. And if you feel the need to donate to us, which would always be appreciated, then you can do so on patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, subscribestar.com/Chasing Dissent, or ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. Our preferred donation method is Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, as they don't take a cut and we get everything. All the filthy lucre comes to us.
Yes, It does. And this Sunday will be the return of the after party. It's not been going on it's not been going on this week because basically John didn't want to do it without me. He didn't. He felt, I got a phone call from him and he was crying and he was screaming and I didn't quite know what, and all I could hear was, "Look, Ben, I can't do the after party without you, Ben. I can't. I don't know how to keep them all entertained."
It's a dramatisation, obviously.
Without you, this show and me, we're nothing. Oh, aye.
And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this Chasing Dissent episode 140. From me, the man formerly in the van and now hunkering in the bunker, and from Ben, the man who was formerly in Disneyland and now back on the south coast of this fair land.
Goodbye. Love you, John. Say it. Say it.
Love you, Ben.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience to talk. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Mwah! Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system. You forgot Uranus. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work to.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.